Happy November, friends. And November brings, hopefully, a much more regular schedule here on the channel. Thank you for sticking with me during this early fall. Soccer season hit me far harder than I expected. Well, soccer season, 10th grade, all of it. So that's what we'll talk about here in today's update. But I do have a lot more time in theory for the next from here out. So expect more regular video viewing or more videos from me. Now, as we transition into November, which is going to be hopefully a much slower time for me, I was watching the Cozy Notes channel, and today she was talking about slowing down and kind of finding a slower pace to our days, not in a not doing anything kind of way, or a way of like everything you do has to be slow and intentional and cozy and whatever, but just little ways that we can add to that. And in the spirit of that, I thought I would share just a quick thing about my newest hobby. I have wanted to knit forever, but I couldn't figure it out with online directions or videos. So this summer, a lady from my church taught me. Until a few weeks ago, I had only just been doing like practice row after row after row type of knitting. And a couple weeks ago, decided I was ready to start my first projects of washcloths. And I've done a couple, and I'm almost, well, maybe another half hour or an hour of my third one, my Christmas one. So what I'm really trying to share about this, though, is at one of our soccer, the tournament at the end, someone commented about it, and she said she'd always wanted to learn to knit. And we were talking about like how now that our kids are on the older side, I feel like I've got more brain power to be able to do such things. And so I want to encourage you moms, since most of you are on the older side like me, to consider maybe as we enter this fall and winter season, maybe a new hobby is for you. I don't know, give it a try. And if you have picked up a hobby recently, or you've got one you just want to tell me about, let me know down in the comments. I'm always wanting to know what people do. My boys. Let's start with Ben. Ben has a much more intense schedule now that we're in the second half. Or I should say much more intense, but he's gone a lot more right now. The second 8 weeks, he started a baking class through the community college. And it's 5 afternoons a week. And we live a distance away. So that's taking up more time. And then on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, he's already in town for work and horticulture classes. So he is essentially gone all day on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. And that's an adjustment. He is my homebody. And he's doing well with the schedule adjustment. But Mama's struggling a little bit to not have him home more. So it's been interesting. He is enjoying it though, and he's enjoying the baking class. They bake 2 to 3 times a week. And yeah, we are starting to look at his classes for next semester. The only one we know that we know one specific horticulture class he wants to do. Other than that, it's still a bit up in the air. But class registration is open, so we are working on figuring that out. And hopefully we have a much better time enrolling in classes than we did last semester. I talked about that in, I think, my August update video, so I will leave that if you're interested. But we had a heck of a time with it. For his horticulture, it was interesting because he had a midterm project they had to turn in. The short version of the project was that he has all the plants that they've learned so far this year. He had to go in and make a slide for each of them with like their facts, their height, the size of it, how you use it, why you use it, etc., their Latin name. And he had 75 that he waited until 3 days before the project was due to start it. So he had to pull a few late nights, and yeah. Procrastination apparently hit him hard. So Mom kind of sat back and laughed. However, then I remembered all the times I was guilty of procrastinating and the extra stress that probably brought to my mom as well. So I was feeling a little bit guilty on that part. Last night he asked me to start a writing class. We had planned to do Write at Home 2 8-week sessions, one in the spring and one in the fall. And then we just never did it for the fall. He's been doing literature, but not writing. So we got him signed up for that, which will start in January. And then we are shifting gears again. He's been doing some government, American history at the beginning, then we did some American government, and now we are back to doing history. However, because of his new schedule, trying to have him do some reading and then discussion, which has been the bulk of his history throughout high school, is a challenge. So we're kind of shifting gears and having him focus on the crash course videos, and then continuing with the, I don't have it with me, I thought I did, Critical Thinking Company's American U.S. History Detective. I have a video about it. It's great. It's fantastic. I just needed something completely portable for him that he can do on that while he's like between classes and such, and then turn it into me. The videos, I trust him to watch them. They're good, or he's good about that kind of thing. We'll sneak in discussion where we can, and we're going to call that good for U.S. history. I think I mentioned this before. I'm sure I have. He already has 3 history credits, so he does not need a 4th one this year, but we've not had like a solid duration of U.S. history, and I feel like that's something he should have before he graduates high school. Before I get into Matthew, I have a deeper dive video coming out soon about our curriculum, where I go into more depth than what I've been doing in these videos. So be on the lookout for that, especially if you are interested in anything about sciences and math. I did 4 subjects, I think, but I forget. Oh, human geography. So that's what we'll talk about is biology, math, human geography, and I don't remember. Anyway, it's coming out soon. Now for Matthew. For literature, we were ready to start a book. He's doing writing through Write at Home. That's the last one we're talking about in the video. Is Write at Home. But I wanted to add some literature as well. He had recently watched a video on Ted Ed's channel about the book Their Eyes Were Watching God. It's a book from the 1930s, I believe. And the video was about like why you should watch it or why you should read it. I had never read it. I didn't know anything about it. But I decided to listen so that we could have good discussion about it. It was such a good book. He is reading it as well and enjoying it. It's been going a little slower pace than what I would like, but this first half has been a lot of that. Anyway, so that's what we're doing for literature. For biology, he has a second AP Bio test this week. It is a cumulative one, so it's over everything they've done this year. He woke up sick today, so I am praying that it passes quickly because he needs to take it before Sunday. He has not stayed on top of studying quite as much as I had encouraged. So I think after this test, I'm going to set a regular study session time with him to keep reviewing material. That May test will come quickly and he's having a tough time being consistent with review. So I feel like setting up a study session together would probably be the way to go with it. We're going to try it, he doesn't know it yet, but we're going to try it in November. So I will let you know that in the November update video. I continue to be impressed and shocked by the amount of information and the depth of information that he's learning in biology. There is so much to it. And I had hoped that I could not necessarily keep up with the reading, but kind of stay familiar with, at least read some of it. And I am not. So it's been far more than what I anticipated. But he's enjoying the class. We are done with all the wet labs, so from here out, they're all done on the computer, and I'm glad of that because I am terrible about getting lab supplies and all of that. Tomorrow, I need to take in the money to place the order for his AP biology test. I have a couple of doctor's appointments in the morning, and then I'm going to go turn that in, and then the countdown will be on for us to our first AP bio class. If you haven't explored the world of AP courses and you are thinking ahead to next year, I do have what I would say would be a helpful video, things that I wish I had known back before we started high school. If you click on the video on your screen, you can hop right over there, and I will see you in the next video.